I'm Mark Bunting at Dx3 Canada, and joining me now is Mabel Lee. She's the founder of Velour Lashes. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Very nice to have you. Now, there are a lot of people, as we'll find out, who know about Velour Lashes, but some people may not. So describe the business for us.
So Velour is a beauty brand, and we specialize in luxury false eyelashes. They are 100% reusable, handmade. We were the first brand to really tap into the luxury lash space.
I think a good way for some people, for a lot of people, to get to know a company is through a narrative, through a story, and you have a good story in that. You were close to a deal with Sephora. They really liked your eyelashes, but they wanted them to be made of a different substance. So you faced this obstacle. How did you solve that problem?
So we started the business in 2011, and I personally, for selfish needs, wanted a luxury lash, something that was comfortable and natural. And we found that the key to that solution was really sourcing a material that was very natural. And we came across the hair mink. When we really grew on social media, Sephora caught on and really loved what we were doing in terms of carving out that luxury lash market. They reached out to us in 2012, so a year after launch. We already got the eyes of Sephora, and they essentially wanted us to launch mink at that point in time. I think a month before launch, they decided that they changed their strategy and wanted to do something synthetic. Our whole brand was built off of creating mink eyelashes, and so they tasked us with a pretty tough mission, and that was to create a synthetic lash line that mimicked the function as well as the look of mink hair. And so, we had to go back to the drawing board, reinvest, and we finally developed a product called the Silk line that most people know us for, and that was probably the hardest challenge. It took us a year. They didn't give us any guarantee as to whether or not they would launch with us, and so like a madwoman, I was sourcing the finest and softest synthetic materials out there, and finally a year later we came across the silk material, and we created the first line, presented it to Sephora. They picked it up immediately in that moment. So.
And Mabel, you like to think that your company is innovative, and
Yes.
you're first in a lot of different areas in what you do. Could you describe those first?
I think we were the first to do mink eyelashes. Back then, 8 years ago when we started, everything that was available was really drugstore. It was made out of plastic. They were machine made. We were the first ones to introduce handmade luxury false eyelashes made out of mink hair. And since then, our mission is to push live-in lashes, the messaging that any woman can live in lashes. Lashes are not just for going to a special event or to a party. We want to change that perception that eyelashes should be your everyday makeup routine, kind of like foundation or lipstick. And so we've innovated in ways in our collections, for example, to make it easier for women. So recently in Sephora, we launched the Effortless collection. And we found that most women were very scared of false eyelashes because they didn't know how to measure or trim them. They didn't know how to fit them for your eyes. And so we created a collection that was basically catering to every woman's average eye length. And so you didn't have to measure, you didn't have to trim, and you would just glue and go. And that's been our most popular collection to date. And in 2019, we're going into cosmetics, and we've innovated some pretty cool things that I can't talk about yet that we're very excited about.
So you're branching out?
Yes, we are. We're branching out into cosmetics. The vision really is to, of course, still focus on eyelashes, but we really want to become a global brand when it comes to eye-centric cosmetics.
Now, one of your strategies has been to utilize social influencers, social media influencers. And you, speaking of stories and narratives, you have one about Beyonce, which is pretty incredible. I mean, you can't get a better get than that. So what happened there?
So long story short, when we first started the business, I was still doing my full-time job. I wanted to become a lawyer growing up. And so beauty was kind of like my passion project. Lashes was my passion project. And so on the weekends, we would do trade shows. We attended a trade show called IMATS. And at this trade show, we met a lot of makeup artists, celebrity makeup artists, and we were lucky enough to have met Beyonce's makeup artist. And I think a year and a half into the business, our social media just blew up, and we didn't know why. Sales skyrocketed, and we started Googling Beyonce Velour Lashes, and we saw that People magazine released an article stating that Beyonce buys Velour Lashes by the ton. And we kind of had overnight success through that, and after that, a ton of celebrity makeup artists reached out to us to partner with us to really become the lash brand for celebrities. So we've had Kate Upton, we've had Jessica Alba, Beyonce. Yeah, it's been pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. And so how did you deal with that sudden attention and that growth and the volume increase?
I think you just have to pivot and adjust on the spot. You know, I come from a business background from school, but they also don't teach you a lot in terms of how to scale a business and how to react so quickly. It really was an overnight thing. Sephora was kind of like an overnight thing. It took us a long time, but we had a team of 3 when we had Sephora, and that's kind of never heard of. Usually when Sephora picks up brands, they are fully a massive company. We had 3 people running a Sephora business. And so I think still to this day, you just have to learn, pivot, learn from your mistakes, and continue to grow. And that's what we've done extremely well.
And lastly, Mabel, it sounds like you have global ambitions,
Yes.
Some grand ambitions. How do you go from where you are now to there?
Yeah, you know, we've always focused on quality. In the first few years of our business, we've really spent so much of our time and money into investing into the quality of our product. Now that we feel that we have a really good control of that and that our customers trust the quality, we really want to expand internationally. A ton of our market right now is based saturated in the US as well as Canada, but we have so much demand from the UK, from Australia, and overseas. So the next process really is, in addition to launching cosmetics, is to expand internationally.
Good luck. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Mabel.